assignments. Explain the following OOPS concept using a common real-world example. Abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Provide a sample program in Java if possible. Answer. Let's take the example of a mobile phone to illustrate the concept of OOPS. Object. When we take a mobile as an object, the purpose of its invention was calling, receiving a call, and messaging. But today we have thousands of new features which are inbuilt. There are so many models available in the market. Number of the feature is still increasing. The above shown diagram vividly shows that each brand Samsung, Nokia, and iPhone have their own list of features along with basic functionality of dialing, receiving a call, and messaging. Object is termed as any real-world entity which has some characteristics or does some performance. This object is also called as instance, that is, a copy of entity in programming language. When we take the above stated example, manufacturing of mobiles in a company is numerous for each model, which are actually an instance. This object is differentiated from each other via some identity or its characteristics. This characteristics is given some unique name. Mobile MBL 1 equal to new mobile of. Mobile MBL 2 equal to new mobile of. Class. A class is a contemplation of the object. It describes the object well. We call it as a blueprint of an object. It portrays how the object has to be represented. Class consists of name, attributes, and operations. In our example, a mobile can be a class which has some attributes like profile type, IMEI, number, processor, and some more, and operations like dial, receive, and send message. It is represented as shown below. Let's see the program. Abstraction. Abstraction reveals only relevant details and conceals the remaining. Example, we take any mobile like Nokia, Samsung, and iPhone. Important aspects of mobile phones. Some internal method concatenates the numbers and displays together on screen while dialing a number. The ambiguity lies here that the person does not know what and how it takes place internally. Once the person clicks on the green button, it means sending signals to the person's mobile, which is intended to be called, but we are not aware of how it works in such a way. This is known as abstraction, where a method takes some parameter as input and returns some result after some logic execution without indicating what is written within the method. Let's see the program. Public void dial of, open bracket, write the logic. System.out.println, dial a number, bracket closed. Encapsulation. Encapsulation is defined as the process of enclosing one or more details from outside world through access right. It says how much access should be given to particular details. Both abstraction and encapsulation work hand in hand because abstraction says what details to be made visible and encapsulation provides the level of access right to that visible details. That is, it implements a desired level of abstraction. Taking consideration of Bluetooth, when we switch on the Bluetooth, we can connect to another mobile but not able to access the same. Features like dialing a number, accessing inbox, etc. This is because Bluetooth feature is given some level of abstraction. When mobile A is connected with mobile B via Bluetooth, whereas mobile B has been already connected to mobile C, then A is not allowed to connect C via B. This is because of accessibility restriction. Regarding this, access specifier like public, private, protected, and internal handle it carefully. Program private string IMEI code equal to 765675567576 and 56. Polymorphism. The ability of doing the same operation with a different type of input can be termed as polymorphism. To be precise, it is many forms of single entity. This plays an important role in the concept of OOPs. Let's form a hypothesis that a Samsung mobile has a 5MP camera, that is, it has a functionality of camera click. Now, the same mobile is equipped with panorama mode camera. Functionality would be the same but with different mode. This is coined as static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism. In compile time polymorphism, the compiler is aware of which overloaded method is going to make a call. Compiler checks the type and number of parameters passed to the method and decides which method to call. It indicates an error if there is no method which go hand with the method signature of the method. It is called as compile time. Next, in send message, add the purpose of sending message to single person at a time. But if Nokia had given provision for sending message to a group at a time, the purpose of sending to many can be solved in a single time, that is, overriding the functionality to send message to a group. This type is called dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism. For overriding the method demand settings, then it can be overridden to virtual and its new implementation has to be embellished with override keyword. Runtime polymorphism helpful in pointing at any derived class from the object of the base class, not runtime, that shows the ability of runtime binding. Program compile time polymorphism shown here. Runtime polymorphism shown here. Inheritance. Inheritance is known as the ability to extend the functionality of same group from base entity to new entity same group. Inheritance will lead us to reuse the functionality which we have already explained. There are 5 types of inheritance which are listed as below: single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance, and multiple inheritance. Single level inheritance. There is one base class and a single derived class. That is, Samsung broadens its base mobile features. Multi-level inheritance. The name itself suggests that it is more than one single level of derivation which besides and beyond base features are extended by Samsung brand. Recently, Samsung has manufactured its new model with new added features or advanced OS like Android OS version 4.4.2 KitKat. Hence, it is assigned that it travels from generalization to more specification. Hierarchical inheritance. Multiple derived classes expand from base class. It's like single level inheritance, but along with Samsung Nokia also takes part in inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. Single, multi-level and hierarchical inheritance construct a hybrid inheritance. Let's see the program. Interface. When derived class will extend from multiple base classes is known as multiple inheritance. If Samsung follows the functions of multiple phone, that is mobile and telephone, this would result in a complete mess for compiler to grasp which function to be called when any event in mobile is triggered, like dial method, where dial is available in both the phone, that is mobile and telephone. To avoid this confusion, C# came with the concept of interface, which is different from multiple inheritance actually. An interface is exactly same like a class in declaration of properties, methods, delegates and events, but it is not the same in its implementation. Interface executes the class to have a standard contract to issue all implementation to the interface members. Then what is the use of interface without implementation? They are useful to have ready-made contract. We have to implement functionality over this contract. In our example, dial would remain dial in case of mobile or telephone. It won't be correct once we use different name when its task is intended to call the person. Interface can be depicted with the keyword interface. The basic rule of interface is that all properties and methods within the interface out to be implemented unless it is not being used. Program